Warning, this video contains strong language and graphic photos. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey y'all, my name is Leanne and this is Hooked. Hooked is basically where we will be telling some true crime stories and also doing some crochet projects together. So let's dive in. So today we will be discussing the tragic murder of Judy Malinowski. We will also be doing a granny stitch pattern, which I am using for a cardigan that I am creating right now. I will actually just be making a sleeve to the cardigan so that I can stitch it all together. So as you can see, we kind of have this sleeve done already, and I will also be creating this sleeve, and I will be doing that with the granny stitch pattern that you will start from however long of a chain you would like for whichever project that you will be doing. I am just doing the length of my sleeve here from the third stitch from the hook. So you would skip those first two, go into the third, and you will do 3 double crochet into that one stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you will chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches, and do another 3 double crochet in that third stitch. Chain 1, go to 1, skip 1, 2, go into the third, and you will just repeat that all the way until you get to the end of the row. Let's talk about Judy. So Judy Malinowski was born August 26, 1983 in New Albany, Ohio, which is just northeast of Columbus, which is actually where I'm from. She was the oldest of 3 kids, and from all accounts, everyone says that she was pretty much just an amazing person inside and out. She was a go-getter. She had a great personality. She also won homecoming queen her senior year at New Albany High School, and won a couple beauty pageants. She was crowned Miss New Albany, so she was doing it, right? After high school, she went on to go to the Ohio State University. Then after, she married a man named Ron and had 2 daughters, Kaylin and Madison. Judy was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and she beat it, but unfortunately things like that, they do sometimes come back, and hers did unfortunately come back. Around that time period is also when she got news that her husband Ron was cheating on her. She got that news from one of her. Okay, now that we have gotten to the end of the row, you should have something. I tried to do a different color so that you guys could tell, but I still wanted it to match. So it's like a darker gray, if you can tell, but that's kind of what it should look like. You can kind of see how that pattern is starting to form. So we are at the end. What we're going to do is I have a cluster of 3 here. We're going to chain 3. And then we're just going to go into the chain space with another 3 double crochet, and we will repeat that until you actually get your achieved desired size that you were going for. For me, I'm doing the cardigan sleeve, so I will just do as far down as to how long I want my sleeve. So once her ovarian cancer did come back, unfortunately, she had to go through a full-blown hysterectomy, which is basically just taking out all those baby making parts. And with the recovery and all the pain she was going through, the doctors prescribed her Oxycontin and Percocets. Now, I don't know much about those drugs, but I do know that they are highly addictive. And unfortunately, she ended up becoming addicted. But once her insurance ran out, she couldn't afford to get these drugs anymore because apparently they are pretty expensive as well. And so she went to the next best, cheapest thing, which were going to the streets and getting heroin and crack just to, help her ease through that pain and to basically feel that high again that she was getting from the pills that actual doctors prescribed her. Those are the real drug dealers, but we don't gotta get into that. Now, let's welcome a piece of absolute garbage, Michael Slager. He is the definition of a career criminal. Like, the guy's freaking rap sheet is miles long. He's been arrested so many times for so many different things. It's actually quite scary. And you know that friend that told Judy Ron was cheating on her? Yeah, that was Michael. And I honestly think he might have had some hidden motives there, because not too long after, Michael and Judy, they became an item. Like, they started to see each other, but things weren't just rainbows and sunshine. Not surprisingly, Michael wasn't the best boyfriend. He was abusive at times with Judy, and he even provided her with the drugs that she was trying to get away from. But sometimes addiction can be that strong that it just takes a hold of you, and when a person knows that, they can use that to their advantage, because he wasn't doing drugs. No. Michael didn't do drugs, but he just provided with Judy with the drugs just so that he can, keep that control over her. And August 2nd of 2015, it seems like Judy was ready to turn her life around. She found out there was an open bed at the Parkside Rehabilitation Center in Gahanna, and she decided that's where she was going to check herself into. So she had Michael take her to the rehab center, but before they got there, they were going to make a couple stops first. And that last stop they made was to a speedway in Gahanna. Unfortunately, in that car ride, there was a very, very heated argument. And once they got to the speedway and Michael went inside to grab cigarettes, Judy kind of ran to the back, trying to just, get away. Once Michael came out and he seen that Judy wasn't there, he got into his truck and he rode around to the back, where he then found her, and that heated argument kind of continued. In the midst of this argument, Judy did throw a cup of soda onto Michael, and his reaction to this was very concerning. Like, are you okay? Do you need to talk to someone? I think you might need to talk to someone, sir. He goes to the bed of his truck and gets a gas can and literally continues to go over and cover this poor woman in gasoline. Like, she's trying to run away and she ends up tripping, so he's literally standing over her, pouring gasoline all over her, to the point where she's coughing and it's getting in her mouth, and she's screaming bloody hell, like, can you please help me? I am in pain. This hurts. This is burning. And as this man took a step back and watched her scream in agonizing pain, he just stands there for like 30 seconds, then proceeds to grab a lighter and set this poor woman on fire. Just, sir, for some soda being thrown on you, what, excuse me? Like, you might need some help. No, you not might. You definitely need some help. Like, what is going on in your brain to make you even, why was that even something that you did? Like, I don't know. Police were called and both Judy and Michael were taken to the hospital. Michael had some burns on his hand, and unfortunately Judy had like 3rd and 4th degree burns all over her body. She lost all of her hair. She lost 2 fingers, both ears. It was horrific. And you want to know what this man, Michael, said to the police? It was an accident. It was an accident. What? Well, Judy was able to give head nods to the police officers when she was questioned about what happened, and with that, Michael was arrested for aggravated arson, and he ended up pleading no contest and received 11 years for burning this woman to death, basically to death. He burned her, and the injuries of this caused her to die. He burned this woman to death and got 11 years because that's the max in Ohio, where I live. That's the max you can get for literally setting someone on fire. What? So of course, Judy, her family, and her defense team, they were very unhappy with that sentence. 11 years for ruining this woman's life and ending her life. So her defense team thought to do something that's never been done before, and they decided to let her go through trial via video call from her hospital bed, which unfortunately meant she would have to be weaned off of her pain medication that was helping her at least somewhat tolerate the pain that she was in from her whole body being set on fire. And in a 3-hour pre-court deposition, video deposition, Judy went and recounted the day that changed her life and the reason that her life is going to end, unfortunately. And she just said, like, it was painful, you know. I was so much pain, and to look into the eyes of someone that I loved and I thought loved me, and to see nothing but just evil and just complete evil, that's terrifying. I could not even imagine that. That is like something I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy. Like, so that's in, like, if that was in a movie, you'd be like, okay, that's a bit much, you know? Yeah. Screw him. Unfortunately, on June 27th in 2017, Judy dies from her injuries at the age of 33 in her hospital bed. The judge did allow the deposition to be played at Michael's sentencing. He ended up pleading guilty, and he got life in prison without the possibility of parole. And, you know, honestly, personally, I know this is like super barbaric to say, I honestly think he should have fried the way he fried her. But they don't even have that anymore, you know. It's a little lethal injection nowadays. And this speaks so much to Judy's character. She said she did not want him to get the death penalty. She just wanted him to be in prison for the rest of his life. And that just speaks to her character, because me personally, what I just said, he needs to fry. He needs to fry. Forget lethal injection. He needs to fry, because he's not a good person. He wasn't a good person before he met her, but he is now serving his life sentence. So as a result of this case, Ohio now has a law called Judy's Law, and it will give an additional 6 years to a prison sentence if the victim is permanently disfigured. So that means Michael would have gotten 17 years instead of 11 years for burning Judy alive. 17 for burning her alive, because that makes a whole bunch of sense. Anyways, I cannot with Ohio. That's still not enough for me. I mean, at least he's in prison and he's never getting out, right? That's a good thing. Well, that was a tragic case of Judy Malinowski. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you here next time. Bye.